Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back, and I'm just going to continue working on my Dark Tower Defense game here in GDevelop. And just wanted to show you this real quick. It was kind of what I think is kind of cool. I was just trying to grab a still, like a still screenshot of the game for something I was doing. So I just threw a bunch of stuff on the path there manually. I put a couple of false towers. They're not actually applying any damage whatsoever, but there's a flamethrower tower, and then just kind of every enemy I have, there's at least one of each version running down the path, so kind of gives us an idea of what we're going to be playing later on. All those different enemy types. At the moment they're doing nothing but darkening the scene as they hit the endpoint, but yeah, just sort of a sneak peek. I grabbed a still frame from that. No one will ever know the difference, so just don't tell on me. And for today, yesterday, the last time I streamed, I started creating a bunch of buttons right here. Colors purple, red, orange, gold, green, blue, cyan, and gray. And what I want to do is add those in. So let me start deleting some of this junk that I threw in there. And I want to get those buttons to pop out of the towers. And what that would look like at the moment is if you build a tower, you click on it to upgrade. Two functional buttons currently pop out, a purple one and an orange one. And we need more. We're going to start with 8. So, again, let me open up my instances panel. There's a bunch of stuff on here that I don't currently need. And I'm just going to delete all these out. We don't need them at all anymore. Just do a few smoke particles in there, and then all of the enemies. And so, I might end up using that flamethrower animation, this flame particle. And because I think I got it to a pretty good state. So that can certainly be a tower damage type. And get rid of these last ones. Let's just double check what we're working with here. That is the scene. And I think I had actually, just for while I'm working in it, I had increased the starting light level. So let me double it to 1,000. I like the moodiness of the dark scene, but while I'm in here working, I'd rather just be able to see what I'm doing. So there's 1,000 light. And so now, again, so I've got a tower. Select an upgrade button. It should delete the buttons once you select it, and it should apply the upgrade to the tower. And two things are happening here. Number one, it's upgrading the round part here, which is the tower head. That's a second object. The first object is the tower base, the square, and that is also being updated. All I'm doing is changing the animation of the base, but I'm adding an entirely new object to replace the previous tower head. So for this design, there's going to be essentially 2 buttons on the top, 2 per side. And so I think what I'm going to want for starters then is to figure out exactly where I want them placed. So for the purple one, if we start with purple, I would probably move that further to the right, and then slightly, probably just slightly to the right, honestly. So let's try that for starters. And let me know if you ever have any issues with your user interface design work. It's something that's often not thought about too terribly much until there's a problem. And I don't want it to be too difficult to use. I think that a lot of tower defense games have quite a lot of menus, because you have an overworld menu, such as like a world map, then you have permanent abilities, then in the game you've got each tower has some sort of a pop-up menu, and then there's the overlay for the scene or the level, which has its own UI. So gonna do the best I can here to really make it smooth. So here's the purple right here, and what I have is, for each button there's going to be a tween effect. It's going to create just a little sprite that it can reference. So it will drag. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I don't need the instances panel. Here we go. Okay, so what's going to happen is oh, that's the groups. Okay. One of these little sprites, such as the purple one, is going to be placed at a point above the tower base. So I drag the tower base out here. You click on the tower to upgrade it, assuming you have the currency. The purple point is going to appear, and then it's going to, what GDevelop calls tween, the purple button from the tower base. Bring this to the front. From the tower. That's odd. And it's going to basically kind of like animate it out to the purple point. Because I could just create the purple button here, but it doesn't look very neat. It just appears. I want it to move. So this is the way that I'm approaching that. And it seems simple enough. Which, by the way, on the topic of tweening, in the previous stream, I was trying to tween the color of a button, and it was not working. And so I was just testing my approach, and the approach does work, so it just doesn't seem to work on a button. So like if I tried to change the color of this using tween, it doesn't like that. And that's because the button is made up of multiple sprites. And there might be a way, I'm just not aware of it. But the basic color tween would look like this. I have just a white 2D sprite, and then up here there's an unconditional action where I tween the color of this test sprite to 25500, which is red, linearly over 1 second. So over 1 second it's going to go from white to red. And here's what that looks like. See that? And so you can do the same thing with like a movement. In this case, it's a 1 second change, so you can change the RGB. And for the button effect, what I'm doing is I'm changing the location over time. So I don't need this anymore. That was just to illustrate a point. So I was half right. I just don't know how to do that for the color of a button object, but that's okay, because I'm good at GIMP. So Let's set the location of the purple button as a starting point. And I really need to create more more useful sort of banners in here because I can never remember where I put stuff. Here it is. Alright. What it's currently doing is it's placing the purple button at the tower base center X minus 10. So to the left 10 pixels. And if I pull up the preview, I want it to be more at the center X minus just a little. So actually, I said minus 10, didn't I? I really meant okay, so it's actually minus 120, and then minus the button width. And this is definitely an instance where I did something a while back, and now I'm trying to remember why I did it this way, but I'm just going to go with it. So instead of minus 120, let's try minus 80 and see what that looks like. But we'll keep the Y level, we'll keep the vertical placement. So if I hit update the preview, it should update the preview. There it is. So now it's almost halfway over the edge of the tower base, which might work. Let's try that. Let's put the orange one at the same place to the right here. So we would want to come down to the orange one, which is already created. Let's keep the Y level of the... Actually, no. I know I have the orange one on the screen. I want to do red next. Toggle disabled. Turn that off. Let's keep the Y as minus 160, which it is. And I actually have the X as plus 80. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it's on the same Y level, and I want to move it to the left. So I'm not sure what that is, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Let's try let's try plus 40. Which is about half of its current extra X pixels. Okay, it's closer. Let's do even fewer. And then the more of these that we knock out, the faster the remainders are going to go. And you know what I need is... okay. So it's doing plus 40, which is slightly too many. Let's see what plus 20 looks like. That should work. Another thing I could do is double check the actual size of these sprites. But I think that the objects actually have the default sprites. Okay, so it's actually 20 by 20. That's my answer. I know I thought it was scaling it, but let me double check here. Now tween the position, yeah, tween the width to 60. So it's actually 60 by 60. It's going to end up at 60 by 60. It's tweening from 20 by 20 to 60 by 60 using ease out cubic over half a second. So if we keep that there, then with the orange we know we want that to be I mean, what I had in mind was maybe it was slightly overlapping the red, but it seems like for that to be smooth going around, I would need the red and purple to be even further out. So let's try moving both the purple and the red outward just a little bit more. So for the purple, let's try minus 100, and then the red is plus 40, which is where it was before. Just want to see what this looks like. I think that would work better. And I might need them to be closer to the tower as well, if I want the orange one to be right here. But let's see. Let's say if the Y is minus 160 from the tower center, I would need that to be minus, say, 1. Even 150 would be a little bit closer to the tower. And then for the orange to be, so if it's 150 out from the tower center, the orange X would be plus 150. Yeah, so let's do that. X, it's currently going out to 280. Let's drop that down to 150 on the X-axis. And then for the Y, the X-axis, it's too much, it's too far to the right, isn't it? Why is it so far to the right? It needs to be almost, what, like 50 or 60 pixels inward? 150. Tower base dot center X plus 150. Tower base dot center Y minus 150. Something just doesn't look right to me, so I'm going to stop trying to math on that one and just get it to feel right. And by feel, I mean look. So, I'm gonna knock off 40. Oops, I did not mean to click that button. At least we know it's accurately targeting. I'm going to actually move these, the purple and red back upward, because I feel like there's not enough room here. So on the y-axis, let's move them up and out. Let's do 170 and 170. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Let me go ahead and add in, I think we have gold next. So let's add in the gold button. Oops. I swear, I'm making this up as I go. I think David Brevik said video games are held together by toothpicks and bubble gum, and that it's a wonder that they work at all, and I definitely agree. It's not red. Not red. If this were Bob Ross, he'd be saying to just turn that into a happy little bird or something. Alright, gold, gold. Let's call it something else. Let's call it move gold. Upgrade button. Then the point. And then we'll keep the X location and we'll drop the Y. Let me think. Instead of negative 80, we would actually want a positive number. Not that positive, though. Slightly less, and then we'll call it good there. Let's say 30. All right, yeah, let's just call that one good. Let's move on to the next. So this will be, what's next in the green. We're going green. Trying to decide on like a color theme for the game, like a palette, and I just don't know. The theme is essentially light versus dark, light versus darkness, or darkness versus light, but that doesn't really tell me anything about color. So I mean, so far I've just got a lot of earth tones, grays, browns, yellowy reds for fire, and that's about it. But these buttons are a lot of colors of the rainbow. They're just not super poppy, so I think that they still work. Oops. Yeah, it wasn't popping up, but I knew it existed. I need the green upgrade tween point. And we'll call that move green. I'm not even sure if these tween names matter too much outside of the specific I'm not sure what to call it, the event, this entire box. Outside of this box, I'm not sure that it actually has visibility to outside because this is called orange, which has nothing to do with it. Okay, so the green button, this will be further down, so it should be at the same X as the red, which is above it, but way further down. So plus 110, and then it'll be plus even more on the y-axis. So let's try, I don't know, 80. So this will be the green button on the bottom right. And that is not the same as the red, so. Okay, the red had plus 40 on the X. Let's do plus 40. I just said that. If I would listen to myself. And then... yeah, so let's double check what that will look like if I do that correctly. Seems like it is not too bad, and maybe the red should come down and the yellow should go up. I keep going back and forth, don't I? What about... I do think the yellow needs to go up regardless. A little more there, and maybe a little off the orange one as well. Okay, that'll work. Let me pull down the red. And the purple. See what this looks like. It'll be a little more condensed. So let me just stick with this for now, get them all in, and then we'll call it good. So, alright, that's the green. Next we're doing blue. Okay, and then that's going to... if I get these wrong, they're going to go all over the screen. These tween points. It's easy to overlook. Okay, there's that. And then just call this blue. Next would be cyan, light blue, And that, yeah, let's change the tween points on that one. See if we can get all three of these at the same time. Obviously, if I add any more tower upgrade buttons, I'll need to rework this, but I think it's enough for starters. Okay, and then I think the last one is the gray. Gray with an A. What would be funny is if instead of, I didn't name these like just in a generic, like say like a numeric naming convention or something. I named them according to their actual color. So now if I ever go in and change the sprite to something different, the code here is going to have the wrong, it's not going to match. So if I change the gray sprite to a pink one, the code is still going to say gray, so that'll be fun. Okay, so we've got, I think the green, on the top we have purple and red, on the right we have orange and gold, on the bottom was green, and then we needed to add the blue position, because right now these are all set to the green position. So the blue would be the same exact Y, which is plus 80, and it should have the same, it's on the left, so it should have the same X as the red, sorry, as the purple, so minus 100 for the blue. Theoretically, we can get all of these in one fell swoop, so let's see what we can do. The cyan should be the bottom left, on the left side on the bottom, which means it should be the same Y value as gold, which is the right side on the bottom. So the Y value would be plus 10. Yes, plus 10. And the X value would be, it would be its own value, but it should be the inverse of the gold as well. So if that is plus 110 on the X-axis, this should be minus 110 theoretically. Theoretically, but we'll see. Not that. I bet plus minus 100 would actually work, but I don't want to do that. And then for the gray, we're going to give it the same X value as the cyan, and we'll give it the same Y value as the orange, which is minus 70. Okay, let's see what this looks like. How bad is it? Ugh. Okay, we need more juice on the gray and cyan X-axis. So take some away. Instead of minus 100, let's try minus 1. I don't know, 30. Almost there. How did that happen? Oh, did I change the blue one? I sure did. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. And those don't even look like they're on the same Y value as their counterparts. So gray should match orange. orange is minus 70 on the Y. How odd. Let's see. Tower base center Y minus 70. And anytime you have a negative Y, it goes upward on the screen. But it sure looks like it's above the orange, doesn't it? It could just be an illusion. Could just be an illusion. Let me then... you know, it's late in the day. I'm going to leave the Y value alone. And maybe just push them further to the left. Call it good. So that is the gray and the light blue. The X value, let's do 115. Negative 115. It's even worse. Oh, I'm thinking actual negative. I need to go the other direction. I was thinking X value 115 versus 130, rather than subtracting the value from the tower's location. Okay. So now the question is, which half do we like? Do we like the way that the left half looks more? Or the way that the right half looks? What do you think? Also, that purple and blue look very similar to my eyes, so I might need to adjust one of them. Let me try pulling in the gold and the orange, and then we'll call it good here. So we're adding 110. Let's try adding 100 instead on the x-axis. Obviously, it's not like a total match, but I really can't decide which one I prefer, and for that reason, I kind of want to leave it alone for right now. Obviously, only some of these actually do something. Can you guess which ones? Yeah, I think I'll leave it alone for right now, and I'm going to call that a success for now. I'm going to leave it alone because I want to come back another time and make a creative decision, if you want to call it that, on if I want it to be more condensed like this, which would leave room for middle buttons, like maybe a destruction or some other type of upgrade. But we have all 8 buttons in, we have the colors, We have functionality for 2 of them, and so I should theoretically be able to just reuse that functionality for any new type of tower without too many bugs. So we're gonna call it quits here. Let me know if you have a particular tower type that you like in your tower defense games. Do you like, more single target, high power damage type of towers? Do you like area of effect? Do you like flat damage? Do you like damage over time? What kind of strategies stand out to you? And let me know, and I'll see if I can implement them here. Because we have all these buttons that we need to fill with creative tower options. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.